We've got Truckster on a challenge here on the back of Clay Racing. Pat retiring, a confirmation of that retirement from the front of the grid. Pat out. Fastest lap for El Crin at the front as well. And Truckster and Clay piling the pressure here in the midfield. Clay with a possible opportunity to go down the inside into turn one. Will he try? He's certainly in the mirrors, but he's not quite there.
Yeah, you have to be at least alongside if you want to try and move on turn one. And Tibran is trying to move on the sweeping corners of the first sector, and he managed to get the first place. Amazing move from Tibran. Jumping a little bit on the grasses. Dershark has lost some places, and he lost the car in the first sector, and he's down to P15.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where he is. He's he's back under racing speed though, and has rejoined in 15th. And his next target is Ceribbo, who skids to the inside dramatically and in the Degnas, in between Degna 1 and 2. And Ceribbo has managed to rescue it, but he lost the place to Dirt Shark immediately.
Yeah, I'm on board with Simopez, who's trying to make a move on his teammates. Nicholas Poita is using some of his energies, preparing the overtake. He doesn't want to get stuck behind. Ooh, and Truckster and Clay Racing comes together.
Oh, wow. Simopez absolutely managing to escape trouble once again. He's like a cat with 9 lives today.
Yeah, he's already in P10 after 2 laps, and he's trying to make a move down inside of Nicolas Boita. Maybe trying to scare him off. It does work because Nicolas Boita doesn't have a really good line through the last corner, but the power of the soft tire.
And Dirt Shark lost a place there to Clay Racing, and I think Truckster in the pits as well.
Yep. So what happened in the first few laps? Let's see the change of positions. So Tibran gained 5 places up to first. El Crane in P2, gaining 2 places. Warren gaining 5 places and he's in podium places. But Manic is just behind him and he's pressurizing him, 0.2 of a second behind. Then Motipera staying in 5th, Zabijaka P6, Barks gaining 4 places, Caparo gaining 6 places, and then Nicolas and Simopez gaining a ton of places, 7 and 9.
Absolutely. Nicolas Boita on the back of Scaparo as well, and hunting down. So the guys are moving forward very quickly from the rear of the field. Let's see, Manic almost trying to make a move down. Nicolas Boita, is this going to be out of the race? He skids wide. He loses the car going towards the hairpin, but he just turned the car away from the barrier and down to 14th again for Nicolas Boita, but a very rare mistake there, Leox.
Did he make contact with Simopez, or he was just...
No, he just lost the car on the approach to the hairpin, spun wide. Yeah.
And so now with Ericus and Nicolas Boita both are out of the way, now Simopez just has to get some overtakes in, but he clips the rear wing of Scaparo. Going into the final chicane, is now going to pull to the left hand side of the track and make a move down in around the outside after 1. We've got Manic going through the S's at the start of the circuit. Again, having closed on the back of Warren significantly, but not enough. Simopez was trying to make a move around the outside of Barks, and he does. Amazing move from Simopez on the medium compound tires over Barks was softs on. I bet he didn't expect that. No, but the tyres will drop off quickly here in Japan. It's a very high degradation circuit on the soft tyres. They get worked really hard. And Manic is trying to make a move down inside of Warren. Let's see if he's going to try to make a move down inside of a Spoon. Now Monty Perez is joining the party as well. And Warren defends just about staying in P3. Now there is a very long straight. Manic is using all his energy. Warren goes defensive. Now he's going back to the racing line. And I think Manic is gonna stick behind. He does.
Let's see, Simopeds is closing in on Zabijaka, already 3/10 behind. Zabijaka is on mediums. Oh, and he's wobble on the traction zone, and Simopeds is going to have a clean, easy pass.
Manic gets Warren into turn 1 as well.
Let's see, Manic goes up to P3, Warren loses the place. To the Hasses. To the Haas, actually. It's only one. And Simopeds has already gained 13 places over 5 laps. Incredible stuff from the Italian driver.
Exactly. Yeah, once again, so much drama at the start of the race. Hopefully the guys will continue it, but we'd be better off, Leox, if they gave us 1 overtake per lap rather than 6 per lap at the start and 0 in the middle.
Yeah, let's see.
Ruthless Pige on Barks, maybe.
Let's try to make a move around the outside. Yes, Arzon. Where am I insane?
Wow, yeah.
Yes, Arzon is fighting with Barks on softs. That's the beauty of reverse grid. Let's see if he's gonna have the traction on Spoon to make him move down the inside of the last chicane. Dershak is also very close to Scaparo. And Simopeds has cleared 3 seconds to Mati Perez in the space of a lap.
Yeah, amazing the kind of pace Simopeds has got. I'm surprised to see so many drivers, Leox, start this race on soft tyres. Oh, down the inside of Scaparo into the Casio triangle at the end of the lap goes Dirt Shark. Makes up a place to P10.
Yeah, Scaparo outbrake himself, and Dirt Shark says thank you very much. As now Manic is making a move down the inside of Crane, and he managed to get P2 after overtaking Warren last lap. So Manic has some superb pace at the moment.
He really does, making use of that extra soft tyre grip at this stage. He'll take some pain later, though, in comparison to Simopeds and Zabi and Ruthless Pige, of course.
Now Warren looks to have a little bit more pace than Old Crane, so if Old Crane loses DRS to Manic, then Warren is going to have an opportunity on the William.
How about Simopeds approaching the back of Monty Perez now, getting quicker through the hairpin. It must be a matter of time for Simopeds because he's caught him so quickly.
And there's also a big train from P8. Actually, so the 3 cars backs Ruthless Pige and their shark, but it's really interesting. Let's stay focus on both of them.
So Simopeds out of Spoon gets a good exit. There's no DRS down towards 130R, so it's all about slipstream as Monty Perez defends to the inside, and Simopeds no way through there, just relying on Monty Perez to outbrake himself. He doesn't do that. Monty Perez very defensive, Leox, but Simopeds I'm sure is going to get him. He's even derating down the straight, and now the DRS comes into effect, given the ERS derating, and Simopeds straight on by, as I think Elkrin and Warren have collided into turn 1. I was riding with Simopeds and got a perfect view of that incident. View.
Yeah, me too. Amazing. Simopeds is now clear of other 2 cars, and he's used another live of his.
Yeah.
And he's now in P3, escaping all the incidents.
I make that. He's only got 5 left now. For Simopeds, but a reverse grid, and we end up with our championship leader in the podium positions on lap 7.
And their shark making a move around the outside of Barks in a stunning place, and their shark backs out of it, but Barks goes into the gravel.
Oh yeah.
And their shark is up to P7. Amazing recovery from the Red Bull driver after he lost the car. Zabijaka trying to make a move on Warren.
Oh, and Elkrin goes completely wide, outbrakes himself on the approach to the hairpin. Lets Barks off, and Scaparo and Sicario both through in the Aston Martins.
Yeah, I think Savo also Zabijaka. Let's see, Zabijaka is closest one. Also Barks is gaining on Ruthless Pige.
So much action, Leox.
Yeah, in this very first few laps, now Simopeds is going to catch also the Manic, and Gibran has gained 4 seconds over Manic in this lap square.
Here comes Zabi down the inside. Will he get the track position? Warren somewhat closes off the track. I don't think it was too blatant, but Warren defends this time. Now Zabi with Dirt Shock behind him.
DRS open on both cars. Will Zabi be able to get the inside? Yes, he manages to get that inside line. Should be passed before the braking zone of turn 1 and successfully through. Does he go wide? Whoa! Absolutely hangs it out there. 2 wheels definitely on the marbles from Zabi.
Amazing stuff from the second driver on the medium compound tires. Now Dershak has joined the party as well, and he wants to overtake Warren, and he's trying to make him feel the pressure.
The shark smells blood in the water, and he tried to have a bite there, but he almost lost his nose.
Yeah. Let's see Dershak going into this tricky section. Let's see. Warren goes wide. Now he's preparing. Very good slingshot out of this exit, but Warren does a good job defending and almost attacking on Zabijaka, who goes wide, and now Warren will have an opportunity going down the next straight.
Yeah, these 3 are going to be super close. I hope it doesn't come to tears.
Does that
Warren
ready for Warren?
No!
The car.
No! Warren, a little bit speculative, ended up getting turned into from Zabi, and Dirtshark gets through the pair of them.
Wow. Let's see if Dirtshark then is gonna seal the momentum and overtake Zabijaka as well. I have no idea how Zabi is still on track after that contact with Warren.
It looked like, at my first glance, that Warren lost the car really before the contact, but I don't know how you saw it, Leox.
Yeah, he lost the car going into the curb and touching a little bit of the back wheel of Zabijaka. So we have to keep an eye on Simopez, who is closing on Manic, and I wonder when. It's only a matter of when he's going to overtake him.
Absolutely, especially on 8-lap-old softs. These guys are going to really struggle now. Interestingly, down at the bottom of the field, but up in the championship, Hercus Monte put on hard tyres already 5 laps ago, so he's going to try and run to the end of this race, I think.
Yeah, Simo having a look at down the inside, Manic defense. He's going to hold. I think Simo's going to wait patiently to the DRS zone. Doesn't have to rush anything.
Dirtshark nerfs the back of Zabi, takes him out of the race. Well, certainly end of his front wing, and he's going to struggle to get round the grid. So Dirtshark managed to hit the back of Zabi, who braked maybe a little earlier than Dirtshark was expecting into the hairpin. Ruthless Pige gets both of them in the end.
Wow, so much action!
It's crazy race.
Sicario is pushing almost Barks through this section. Barks is running out of energy. Sicario has a ton of energy. Also, we have to stay with Simopez because the DRS has arrived.
Absolutely.
On the Mercedes powered car. Manic stays on the racing line. Simopez goes in the inside line and takes P2. And now there's only 2 ahead.
P2 by lap 10. What a first phase of the race for Simo.
Yeah. And Sicario is closing in on Barks. Barks has ran out of energy, goes defensive, but Sicario does have so much more speed. Barks tries to hang on, and Sicario takes the place with 3 seconds time penalty as well.
Tremendous work around the outside there, Leox. How he held that car at the speed he did on the outside on soft tyres. Tremendous work from Sicario.
Soft start, yeah. And Zabijaka is in the pits, so after it lost the car with the contact with Dirtshark, yeah. This is gonna be something to look at from the steward. Let's see. Now it seems like everything calmed down.
Now finally we can take the overtakes one at a time, perhaps. El Crin may be the closest to another driver at this stage, but we're going to have maybe 1 or 2 laps, Leox, and then I think the pit stops are going to start.
Yeah, very intense first 10 laps, and this is gonna be probably the rhythm that we're gonna have also in the final races, because all the other races.
Scaparo out of the race.
Let me just finish the sentence, please.
I'm sorry, but big drama as he gets. Yeah. He's on the inside of the exit of Spoon, and he's lost the car already. Looks like possibly on power traction moment for Scaparo. Yellow flag then on the inside. Dirtshark goes into the pits, hoping that yellow flag lasts.
but Scaparo out of the race. I think, what was he, P8 at the time?
Yeah, was just fighting with Marks, if I remember correctly. And now he's out of the race. So.
Incredible.
As I was saying, while El Crane is closing in on Erkes Monte, who is driver in P2 in the championship. Amazing. As I was saying, all the other races, around 8, 9 and 10, are going to be on the same format. So reverse grade championship without qualifying. So we're going to see so much action in the very first few laps. As now Simopets is closing in on Tibran. He's in the DRS range. Let's stay on board with the Mercedes. Also, Dershak is closing in on Sir Ebo. Already some pit stop.
Yeah, so pitting for the hard tyres, Dirt Shark, from the top 6, I think it was, down to P11 now, but starting to catch Cerebo already ahead. Yeah, and actually, the pace has gone a little bit out of El Crin's initial bite on his new tyres. But up at the lead, we could have another move for Simopes here.
Yeah. Let's see, 0.6 of a second in the first sector. This is not the place where usually the overtakes comes, but we'll see. Maybe Simopes is gonna give us a wonder of overtake. Their shark is closing in on Cerebo. He's actually very, very close. Let's stay on board with him. He's going around the outside of the Williams, and he managed to get a place on Cerebo. So,
yes, Cerebo looking very slow out of the corner there.
Yeah. Braked way too early, and Ruthless Peach gets a 5-second time penalty for severe collision with Sicario. I wonder what happened there.
It looks like it's in the S's.
Yeah. Oh, and Sicario going really, really wide, so he probably lost the front wing. And now Warren is trying to make a move on Ruthless Peach.
Yeah, confirmed Sicario struggling to get around this very high downforce circuit with half of his downforce missing.
Yeah, in fact, they lose the place on Trackster. Now Warren is closing in, as well as Simopes, who's now just 3 tenths behind T-Bran.
Yeah, coming towards the chicane, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I think unless T-Bran pits right now, I think Simopes is going to get him into the next turn 1.
Yeah, T-Bran goes defensive. Simopes uses DRS energy, and he's going to get the P1 because he's alongside him and he's past him before the braking zone.
13 laps then, he managed to complete the last to first challenge.
Yeah.
Stop the race, reset. Let's see it all over again from Simopes.
40 laps for Simopes to stay in the lead. Obviously, he's not going to lose the car. And he's going to finish P1.
I'm sure he'll thank you for saying he's not going to lose the car.
The speed stays on the horizontal line. Warren have a look down the inside, but he's way too far.
Yeah, Peach rather left the door open there, Leo. Because I kind of I thought he might end up with an AlphaTauri in the middle of him, but he runs wide through the S's. Perhaps lost the front wing, the air off the front wing, and he's certainly lost all the front wing now in the middle of the S's. Ruthless Peach, another front wing casualty. I think I make that 5 already.
Yeah, but I think Warren touched the back of Ruthless Peach just enough to make him spun, because I see the contact, and I don't think Ruthless Peach lost the car on its own.
You don't?
Yeah. Okay. Now Nicolas Boyd is closing in on Erkes Monte. This is the fight for P2 in the championship.
Yeah, and he's got to be really careful here, because Erkes Monte is braking so much earlier than Nicolas Boyd wants to on the completely different compound of tyre. Nicolas Boyd stopped 8 laps ago for mediums, and we'll probably be planning a second stop today.
Let's hear this Monte. Nicolas Boyd. Nicolas can't go to the end with this medium, so he's gonna try to push as much as he can and then pit for a set of softs probably.
Through Spoon they go. Completely different lines, and that's very wise from Nicholas here. Don't be on the same line as Dirt Shark, but they're coming up, are they, to lap one of the back markers? Is that Sicario in the Aston Martin?
It was Ruthless Speech going slowly because he lost the front wing. Marcus Monte goes offensive. It was Bottas stays behind very wisely, choosing to wait for the main straight. Using all his energy now. But Marcus Monte looks like he's on top speed. Stays defensive. Nicholas goes down inside.
Wow, they come super late move, and that is Senna and Prost. That's Senna and Prost out in turn one. Boita and Hercus Monte both fighting for position 2 in the championship out of this race. Wow.
Incredible stuff. Now Simopez is first, and there are no competitors.
Yeah, but there's plenty of action through the rest of the race, as now we're down to 13 drivers with 39 laps to go. Amazing moment there. Nicholas Boita and Hercus Monte, neither of them willing to yield the first corner, and unfortunately that's what happens when 2 into 1 won't go.
Incredible stuff from this race, from these drivers. It was Boita and Hercus Monte killing their chances, I think, to fight for the championship at this stage. Of the championship, because we are in round 7.
Looks like Barks is pitting. That's why he's dropping down the order. So a new set of soft tyres for Barks. Interesting.
And front wing as well. So he probably had some damage. Now Trackster is closing in on Warren. Let's see if it does. Warren have damage? No idea. It doesn't seem like he does have both end plays, so if he has damage, it's a minor one.
We've got Trugster trying to get 5th place off Warren, both on soft tyres, both quite old soft tyres, although Warren has been on his tyres since the start of this race.
And Hercus has left the session, Hercus Monte.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, a little bit annoyed probably with that incident. I don't think I have to blame someone.
It's difficult when we've looked at it just once and we don't have access to every angle. I'm sure each of them will report the incident, and the stewards will make a decision based on more evidence than we can provide on this stream with one view. But of course, anybody watching the stream can skip back and have a replay of it and see what they think.
Yeah. No, Trackster is really close to Warren. He didn't choose a very optimal line to set the overtake on the main straight, but he may have the possibility to do it anyway, and he does. And he goes P5 on Warren, working just in time and getting that P5 of the McLaren.
Yeah, he worked for that a long time before the move worked out, and got the job done.
Sir Ibo, 10 seconds time penalty for exceeding track limit. You get that 10 seconds only if you cut the last chicane here, I guess. So you completely went straight. It's Al Crane and Zabijaka. They are really close on track. I think Al Crane is losing some time over Zabi. And Al Crane goes into the gravel and also getting 3-second time penalty.
Oh man, that's tough. If you're in the gravel and you get a penalty, that's really tough to take.
Yeah.
It looks like Truckster much faster than Warren at this point and is pulling away hand over fist. So it's a bit of random chance now as to whether we catch the next incident, because no one's particularly close to anybody else.
Yeah.
We will end up with some pit stops soon, though. I think the second to 6th, and there goes Warren in.
Warren into the pit, saying that he hasn't the pace, Truckster pace, and he's going to put a set of medium. Let's see. Was already done the pit stop. So from Traxxter on, everyone has done the pit stop, unless actually not. Cerebo it's not already stopped. So Dershak is in a very good position in P6, with Manic but in Paris still yet to pit. So he can fight for the podium places if he does have a good rhythm on those arcs, just to make him last decent pace till the end of the race.
I'm just checking out positions gained and lost. Obviously Simapez up 18, but Dershak up 11 so far. Slightly slower through the field, but gradual work. Slow and surely. El Crin, perhaps the biggest loser, still in the field, down 6. But Tibran, Trugster, definitely worth a mention for their climbs.
Yeah, also, Manic staying in P3 after all that chaos, so was done to him. The podium is still very unclear, even if Moti Perez is 22nd to Manic. I think Dershak and Traxxter have really good pace, so the race is still long, so anything can happen.
Absolutely. We've got the McLarens together on track now. Warren coming out of the pits on fresh mediums, just ahead of his teammate, who is on soft tyres and who could well do with Leox not being held up by a slower tyre teammate in front.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully, I should say. Let's see marks. They are really on the same pace. It's already the third race we see them in the same part of the track, and I think also qualifying.
They're very closely matched, aren't they, the McLaren teammates?
Yep. Now Mark's up to P7, still running out of energy. It's time to save up a little bit.
Yeah. It's definitely a difficult circuit to save it for, especially if you've been fighting a lot, and very uncharacteristically seeing Simapez having used a lot of his ERS as he was in the podium, made his way to the podium positions. He usually barely touches it.
Yeah, he always stays at 90% till he starts to do the fastest lap attempt in the last 10 laps of the race.
So just looking at the current championship standings, I can see Dirkshark easily taking second place here. Ruthless Pige has an opportunity to pass Nicolas Boita and get very competitive for third place with Hercus Monte after these two did not finishes. DNFs there for Hercus Monte and Nicolas Boita. Obviously, the Boitas both pretty annoyed in the live chat and in the drivers' chat room as well. But hopefully they'll cool down, report it to the stewards, and move on to the next race. We, as Leox mentioned, we're nearing the end of the season now, and 3 more rounds of reverse grid to go, followed by June the 5th, a World Cup event. Nation groupings at least against each other. Certainly England and Italy will be represented alone, right?
Yeah, probably, even if I guess Barks wrote the team some days ago, but it's not the time to check at the moment. No. Warren is staying with Barks, amazingly, and Barks has gained 4 seconds over the driver in front, as there is a yellow flag. It's a white car, so...
Must be Manic.
Yeah, I guess.
Car looks intact from one side, and looks okay from the other side, so maybe just a little spinella.
Yeah, probably, because Traxxter has gained a lot of time. It was almost 20 seconds behind Manic, and is now just behind him of 6 seconds. And Manic can brake really well. I think he's going into the pit, and he does.
So maybe that was the indicator for him, Leox. You have a little spin. Maybe you've either flat spotted your tyres, or you just think, no, I can't hold onto these any longer. I'm going to try and do 33 laps on my next tyre choice, whether that be hard or medium. It's medium, so he's going to try and one-stop this, I think. Moti Perez, obviously, he's just pitted, and he is now in 6th place. And Dirtshot continuing to move forward, Leox, and I think may even get up to 4th place here. Yeah, he's just fighting with with Manic on the entry to turn 1 and 2. They're side by side. We've seen this go wrong so many times already. Dirt Shark holds the inside. Manic has got the better grip, but he can't use it as he's bringing those medium tyres up to temperature, and Dirt Shark holds on and gets to 4th place now.
Yeah, Manic now is going to have fresh mediums, and also he has 100% of VRS,
wow,
which is very rare on this truck since he just came out of the pit. It's actually quite natural. Now Dirt Shark is pulling away a little bit on this part of the truck. Maybe Manic is just need to get a little bit of rhythm.
Perhaps planning to bring those tyres into temperature as slowly as possible, get the best life out of them. Of course, if you burn through the first few percent in lap 1, you will be having problems later on. So I can kind of understand Manic taking it easy. He went for broke. He tried to get that place on Dirt Shark, but for now he knows that in the next couple of laps he's going to have a much quicker car than Dirt Shark.
Yeah. And now in fact he's gaining back, and he's using a little bit of this energy to have the DRS. Now Dirt Shark has to defend himself. Manic breaks really late, but does a very good job.
Currently fastest lap is sitting with guess who? Simapez, but it's some 8/10 faster than Ruthless Pige. And he hasn't even run a low fuel lap yet. Manic really struggling with understeer into turn 1 as well there. Wow.
Also at the last corner I saw him going really wide on the curb, so it's not comfortable with these mediums.
No.
He's trying to get rid of him as Warren is sticking with Barks. I wonder if he's now thinking to swap places back.
Talk about being comfortable on those mediums. Here comes Warren.
Yeah. And Barks is already 5 laps on the softs. Still the grip of the softs is surely working. From laps 10 on, softs might get a little bit stressful, if we can say that.
Absolutely, yeah, he's going to try and run those. I mean, T-Bran still lap 21, Leox, on his soft tyres, so he's making them work really well.
He's just, I have to say, 11 seconds behind Simapez, and he's virtually in actually P2 because Truckster is yet to pit, and he has a big gap to Dirt Shark, who's on Ards with a penalty. So it's looking good for T-Bran, and actually for both Alpine. They might get a double podium.
Yeah, it is looking good on that respect. However, I can see Dirt Shark getting Truckster when Truckster pits next and puts mediums on to the end. Whether Truckster can catch him back or not. Currently that gap is 17 seconds between 3rd and 4th, which is less than a pit stop, I think, around Suzuka.
Yeah. And I think they're on the same level with these tires. Maybe the hard tires is working better at this stage of the race, because the 18-olds...
Oh, that's going to affect things as Dirt Shark picks up a penalty, the first penalty in the top 8. So that's really going to be a big deal for Dirt Shark's bid for the podium here tonight.
Yeah, and he already had 3 seconds, so he's now up to 6. And
yeah,
this is going to hurt this race, surely. Hopefully won't get frustrated, because it will only get worse.
Nobody likes an angry shark. You have to keep sharks as calm as possible. We got Sicario possibly closing now on the back of Elkrin.
Just going aboard with him as we were speaking. Now, Crane in P10, Sicario P11. Once at this point, he had contact with someone at the first part of the race. Now Truckster goes into the pit.
That's really interesting that Truckster has pitted before T-Bran, and his tyres were younger than T-Bran's, so maybe he just thinks 30 laps is perfect for the medium. He's done his research, but T-Bran obviously doing a Sergio Perez here today.
Yeah, Crane letting past Sicario. And
yeah, he just let him go, didn't he? What was that about?
Yeah, he pulled to the left-hand side, broke, and left Sicario go. Maybe I think he has more pace. It's just want to try to stick with him, even if it's already long gone.
Yeah.
1 second.
If that's his intention, it's not working for sure. But yeah, he did give him a great head start by lifting the throttle on the approach to 130, on the approach to the Casio triangle, I should say, at the end of the lap.
Yep. Now Thraxer is 3 seconds behind Manic. We're gonna see some pace from these two drivers. Now Tibran goes into the pit as well.
And with Manic having catching back to Dirt Shark here. So I think feels like something happened to Dirt Shark and his pace to have lost that gap so quickly to Manic as the cars pass a driver completely off the circuit. That was a Williams. Was that Cerribo letting everybody back by driving through the gravel?
Yes, Cerribo taking maybe a little bit too seriously these blue flags. Let's see. Traxxer has already gained 3 tenths of a second over Manic. And the difference, the tire age is not that bigger. Thibron is already off the first sector, while Dershak is now approaching turn 2. So there is a big gap, 17 seconds. But Thibron is really, really safe.
Yeah, he is. And I think Dirt Shark's just going to have some difficulty now holding off those 2, maybe 3 medium runners behind him towards the end of the lap, towards the end of this race. Because we haven't even gone through the middle part of the race yet. But Dirt Shark presumably trying to get those hards through to the end. He's going to have a long, painful race watching his mirrors.
Yeah, and now Simopeds remind us that he's in first place, pushing as much as he can, and he's done another fastest lap. And he's now clear of Tibran over 42 seconds, and there is a yellow flag.
Yeah, that's a Williams in the hairpin. Yeah, is he just getting out of people's way very, very generously?
No, I think he's fun this time, and in fact he has.
Oh, Simopez with a penalty. Wow. A rare mistake from Simopez.
Yeah. 3 second time penalty for Simopez is now has to create a gap.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
I think we have to multiply any penalties that Simopez gets by 10.
I'm 15 maybe.
15, okay.
Let's see now. Thraxer has closed in on Manic. He's in the DRS range, but he's not in the exact part of the track, 2 of a fake.
No, and the pace difference here between the medium and softs is really showing up between Barks and Warren. Of course, teammates having raced together throughout this race, really, so far, and now I think Warren is starting to close on the back of Barks.
Yep, and also Manic lost over a second to Dershak, so he might have made a mistake. Because Traxxer is within 6 tenths of a second, so he does see the podium just in front of him. On the straight, you can see the Red Bull sweeping on these almost old hards, even if it's really hard to call a set of hards old. They seem to last forever.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see, Truckster's pace is very strong around here. He's definitely catching Manic well, and bidding here for a double Alpine podium.
Yeah, it's still a long way.
Channeling Ayrton Senna with his helmet choice as well.
Manic lost the car.
So he
Manic
did.
Lost the car. He lost the car almost at the P.
Oh, and a really bad, unsafe return to the track from Manic. Lap 26. I would be absolutely reporting that to the stewards. That was pretty appalling. Marty Perez had to go completely off track to avoid, and he's lost 2 places in doing that.
Yeah, no. The stewards surely will have a look at that. Because Manic is now in P7, is surely frustrated behind Warren Barks, but Monty Perez was almost there, was fighting almost with Traxxer and Manic.
Yeah.
Now it's dropped down to 8th for no reason.
I mean, it could be that Manic was unsighted, couldn't see behind him in his mirrors, but he does have the track map to help him know when it should be safe to rejoin the race.
Yep. Now Barks is sitting in P5. He's surely gonna pit one more time.
Yeah.
And I think Warren, Manic, and Multiparis will go to the end. Tris will try. A good indicator would be
out of the race goes Marty Perez. Now that is pretty huge. He's just run wide into Spoon and lost the car, knocked the front wing off, and DNF for Marty Perez. Now, would he have DNF'd had that incident not happened the lap before? We'll never know. But it will certainly affect his mindset, Leox.
Yeah, he surely got frustrated. He wanted to push to overtake these guys back, but he lost the car going into Spoon, and now we have only 12 drivers left.
Hercus Monte joins us in the live chat. Maybe, Hercus, you could let us know your take on the incident between yourself and Nicholas Boyter. We'd love to hear it. I know Nicholas hasn't been able to keep his comments to the level we can read out on air, but maybe, Hercus, you can let us know what you think. Racing incident, inevitable, or somebody more to blame than the other? Now Manic, Manic absolutely under the gearbox of Warren, and once again, and has to do this job all over again. Manic, he's on newer, but not entirely new medium tyres. Going to go down the inside into the hairpin. Wow, Warren, what a great line through the corner, just left enough room, and Manic frustrated once again.
And this is only helping Barks because Warren seems he wants to overtake his teammate back, but the fight that Manic engaged with the McLaren is just helping Barks with these softs, even if he's gonna pit one more time, as well as Zabujaka.
I can see Trugster as well. I know it's hard to take your eyes off Manic, Warren and Barks, but Trugster is now within a second of Dirt Shark. He's got the DRS down the start-finish straight. I don't think he's close enough, but it's a matter of time, really. Giangio joins us almost directly on time, 50 minutes into a broadcast, and says, go Simapers. Trezano Beach, love you.
Yep.
I don't know where Trezano Beach is.
Me either. I'm ready. Giangio, dov'è Trezano? I asked him in Italian.
Okay, excellent stuff.
Let's
Zabi pits now. Zabi pits for medium tyres to the end of this race. Should be very comfortable on that tyre wear.
Yeah, maybe he's trying an undercut on Barks, since Barks is gonna pit as well.
I don't know if you can see when the cars next go into the hairpin for you, Leox, but the tyre marks on the hairpin pretty extreme.
Yeah. A little bit too much.
I try not to say skid marks because it has a different connotation in English.
I'm wondering what that could mean.
And one of the Pez family says Grande Giangio, so
yeah,
he's very pleased.
Max
about that.
Pez, I think is the father.
Father, that's
Pez.
what I wanted to say. Father.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure he's the father.
Trugster, one-third of a second, as you were about to say. We keep doing the same thing, and should be comfortably by now. Easy job done, but of course, earn that over the course of several laps, building the speed and catching Dirt Shark. Up to P3 then, it's an Alpine 2-3 right now. I almost got excited. Now Barks is in the pits, putting those medium tyres on, and has to do it all over again from 7th.
Yeah.
Maybe 8th. Yeah, El Sicario is going to get past him.
You think? Yeah, he is. He's already in the straight with Barks. He's still in the pit lane. El Crane maybe is gonna have position on Barks as well. It's gonna be a tight call. Actually, no. El Crane goes through. So Barks rejoining P9.
Yeah.
Arcus says maybe racing incident. He went wide and killed me. These two comments doesn't really correspond.
No, one does not connect to the other, does it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, grateful I'm sure that that this wasn't on-track racing for that kind of an incident. It was pretty heavy impact, and of course totaled the race. No hope of points for our second and third placed in the drivers' championship drivers, Hercus Monte and Nicholas Boyter. Although, am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're right. Hercus Monte and Nicholas Boyter were P3 and P2.
No, Nicholas Boyter entered the race behind Dirt Shark, so he was actually fourth. But I do think we'll drop down. Yeah.
Who is in P5 then?
P5, Ruthless Peach currently.
In P9, so it's not getting a ton of points, only 2 points in the back. Yeah. We're in the stage of the race, and it's 9 seconds behind Barks with new medium compound tires. But
Dirt Shark only needs to score 4 to be level with Hercus Monte, so that's definitely on here tonight as Simapez drops the fastest lap marker to a 1:32.2
on a 30 old mediums. Why not?
Why not indeed? Now Dirt Shark's climb may have stalled, but a very impressive climb nonetheless. His time, his Trugster's fastest lap is a 32.4, so he's now very close to Simapez, having come out of the pits on those fastest lap countback. Simapez starting from the back of the grid on lap 31 has lapped up to 7th place.
The interval, yeah. Warren is closing in on Manic. It's closing back actually. So the question is gonna be Manic and Warren can catch their Shark. I'm fighting for P4 with 22 laps to go. I think it's gonna be a tough call, even if actually their Shark has 6 seconds worth of penalty, so that might help them surely.
So Hercus Monte says he thinks he could have given more room on the outside, but even so, he still would have been hit.
Yeah.
So he's not sure what to make of it. I think that's quite a mature and reasonable view of the incident. I say it did look a little bit like a racing incident from my perspective, but I'm sure the Boyters do not feel the same way.
Yeah, I might as well. If I have to blame someone, I have to say maybe Nicholas actually. If I have to blame someone.
Rather you than me.
Yeah. hopefully they're not in the stream right
now. There you go. You can talk about the Trozano Beach now. You've got a definite location for you.
Interesting. Shot friends. Thank you. Thank you, Genja, for the perspective. Really, really nice.
Nicholas was listening to us the whole time.
It was, what are you doing at this stage of the race? You're in the stream.
I don't know. I think he might have some model cars and is doing voodoo on his rivals. He's got a Simapez Mercedes and he's sticking pins in it frantically.
Yeah. Last race, I wrote a PS chat message to Simapez during the race, and I think I messaged Mrs. Binala, and he lost the car going to Ascari. So if you want Nicholas, I can ride him.
You can't send people PS messages, Leox. That's tough. That one.
By the phone, through the phone. No, not through the PlayStation. Otherwise,
yeah, you're relying on them turning their notifications off though during the racing, aren't you?
So. Yeah. You're right.
It's like calling someone at 4 a.m. They should have their phone off, but if they don't, you're still in trouble. We've got El Crin closing on Zabi, or did Zabi? No, I think Zabi just took El Crin. Sorry, but Warren absolutely with Manic. That looks like it's brewing for another little battle here.
Yeah, Warren has been close to Manic for the last 5-6 laps, so maybe he doesn't have enough pace to overtake him, and maybe he doesn't want to overtake him, and he just want to stay with him as much as he can. Also to have some company on track, so Wes can talk us about being alone in a racetrack.
Yes, it's certainly a nice problem to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being alone on the racetrack. As he's now got someone else for company towards the Casio Triangle, and I think that's El Sicario's 7th place, and might be about to have to do one fewer laps than the rest of the field. Simapez a 1:31.8 now, new fastest lap.
33 old mediums.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I'm sure he can't get these mediums to the end of the race, but wow.
He might try, just for fun. I think he's a very rational driver, rational driver. So he's gonna pit in a matter of 2-3 laps for a brand new set of softs and go to the end with them. Yeah, he has the space and the time to do 2 pit stops, so we're gonna see a lot of fastest lap attempt.
Hercus wants to know what was said about the incident. Nothing directly, Hercus, just something we couldn't read. It was just an expletive we can't read out on air, and it was very similar in the driver chat, so nothing insulting, but just not something we can repeat.
Yeah, there is a bull, let's say, like, it's not something good to say. 21.
I could tell you what it rhymes with, but I don't think that's fair either. So
Yeah.
use your imagination, and it's it doesn't take much imagination. Warren now under half a second. Will it be this lap he goes for the move? He's closing, but oh wow!
Was going almost running to the back of Manic,
and he picks up a penalty doing that as well.
Yeah. So he might try to make a move now because he's taking some very different line to set up the overtake.
There's Simapez in the pits. Soft tyres for the remainder of this race. About 18 laps to go, if I've done my maths right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
18 laps to go.
So it looks like was that Pige, Barks, and Sicario unlapping themselves, and Zabi. So I think is that down to 10th place again now. So a long way to go for him to lap the field once again.
I think he's gonna lap to Sicario, maybe Warren. It's gonna be hard, but he does have a brand new set of softs now, so he's gonna unleash the power right now.
I think next lap will be the one to watch for Simo, and we'll see what kind of pace he's got. He's just got past Zabi, so that's it's another fight for position, but it's a fight for some clear air in his next attempt here to improve the fastest lap. We've got Warren just getting a bit tail happy through the Casio Triangle, trying to get close enough to Manic, but I think he's too far away once again. It's just the exit of that chicane. It's the only point on the lap he can't keep the pace, but Manic runs wide and the inevitable happens. Manic tries to take his line back. Warren is sitting there on the inside and Warren spins once again.
Yeah, Warren got lucky that he didn't lose the car in the first place, but then he decides to stick the nose in, even if the car was sideways. And he's just lost the car, lost the rhythm now, and he's now very close with Sicario. Sicario is 5 tenths behind him now. They both have penalties. They both have Warren has 3 seconds of penalty. Sicario has 6.
Just riding with Simo then to see if he's trying to make this one the fastest lap. New fastest lap attempt. He's certainly spending his ERS, isn't he?
Yep.
6 tenths faster in sector 1 alone. 6 tenths faster. That's the difference in the tyres. Yeah. Wow.
Also
beautiful line through the hairpin. Just kisses the apex about 2/3 of the way around. Keeps great momentum through there. And now it's just Spoon to go.
Perfect line through Spoon as well. Maybe a little bit too wide here. Not carrying so much speed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, using the energy left in the sector 2.
Wow. doubles the difference of 1.3 seconds. He's actually overused the battery in the lap, and the battery is needing to recover now on the way out of the Cassia Triangle. Will he get any to spend on the way to the line? Simapes then bids for fastest lap. It's a 1 minute 30.1, 1.6 seconds, but there's plenty left, Leox, I think, in that final sector if he can time the use of the battery a little bit better.
Yeah, if he managed to, then he's going to use a little bit. Oh, T-Burn has retired from the race. After Spoon was in P2, running a fantastic race.
That's
criminal. Let's see, he's sideways. He's sideways on a very strange part of the track to be.
Well, that's the second time we've seen a car lose it on the inside of the exit of Spoon, and I do think that's when the traction just loses slightly on power on throttle, and it is enough to spin you into 180 degrees, but clearly he's hit the wall hard enough to exit the race. Wow, what a disappointment. And that should mean that Dirt Shark is able to try and get this one stopping starting from near the back, slower journey than Simapes through the grid, but up to the podium as well.
Yeah, very good racecraft from Dirt Shark.
Yeah, really good, and has had to do it with a lot less pace in hand than Simo has got. So a good performance from Dirt Shark. Herkus says that he would have without the crash, he would have been having a horrible race with no setup today.
Yeah, it's the first thing you do in a reverse grid race.
Yeah. Although in fairness, I don't think anyone reminded the drivers to do that today. So,
and everyone was cheeky. Everyone remembered was cheeky. Just taking it for themselves. Now
so
Sicario overtaking Warren, and now Warren is back in the DRS range of the Aston Martin. So very strange race from Warren. He's now in P7. Let's see the position change. He started P8 and now he's P6.
Yeah, so climbing, but I don't know. I think maybe two of those places were probably three probably were gained from drivers who were in front of him. So in terms of his race pace, I make that one back that he's actually ended up in. If the other drivers hadn't crashed out.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Also, Traxxer has gained 7 places. I wonder how he ended up P11 in the championship standings. In the driver standings, I think. He does have a lot more pace than the point says for him.
But obviously making use of the reverse grid, it's all part of the championship. Of course, everybody knew the calendar going into this season. No surprises. Siribo currently on 19 seconds of penalties, some 3 minutes 43 away from T-Brand's DNF. Still.
Warren almost losing the car. Just whipping corners. Has now lost the DRS.
We're into that fatigue stage, aren't we, Leox, where the drivers are going to really struggle for focus.
Yeah,
so how many of the currently 11 drivers left in the race are we actually going to get to the end of this one?
So, I'll tell you, Siribo still has not overtaken Thibran, who has retired 2 laps ago.
Yes. Siribo is definitely having trouble today, but props to him. He is continuing in the race. He will try his best to profit from other people's failure and get a consistent finish to the end.
You just need another DNF, and he's in the points.
And I don't think that's impossible today.
Yeah.
But yeah, penalty situation. No problems for Simapez's 3 seconds.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag. Wait a minute.
Ooh, what's going on? No, it's back again. So
yeah,
I think we're okay.
It was all crane. Everything's fine now.
Okay. It looks like El Sicario is going to be vulnerable to Warren on the current penalty countback. So that could factor in. I think that's the only one really that is much of an issue, just Sicario and Warren, the difference between those two penalties.
Yeah, because Manic is losing some ground to Dirtshark, amazingly.
Interesting, given Dirtshark's still on the hard tyres.
Yeah, I wonder if Dirtshark can put a set of softs and try to go for the fastest lap. Yeah, he does have 9 seconds worth of penalty, so...
Yeah, not enough of a gap yet, is there?
Yeah, a very, very big risk, so... It's not something you want to try.
Hercus says, is it just him or did people brake on the straight before turn 1? I think you mean in lap 1 after the start. Like, definitely people were braking because there was an accident for Lofty who crashed to the left hand side of the grid. Oh, Sariba goes very wide into Spoon. I think, is he just giving places over to Manic, Sicario and Warren? I think he is. But yeah, that's just to answer Hercus, yes, indeed. It was the reason why people were going slowly. I was riding on board with Simapez from the back of the grid, and he was driving like a grandma or a nonna round the first 2 or 3 corners, but he managed to still gain 5 or 6 places in doing that.
Yeah, very wise choice. Now Simapez gets 3 second time penalty.
Wow, take a picture, folks. That's Simapez with 2 penalties tonight.
Yeah.
That's definitely worth a screenshot.
Yeah, 50 seconds behind Trackster now. Not ahead, not behind.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, he's catching Barks right now, I think, to put a lap on Barks in 7th place.
Yes, Sicario is gaining on Manic. So a very good second half of the race from the Aston Martin.
Yeah, and these mediums really not suiting Manic, although he's down to 19 lap wear. But yeah, Manic was a lot quicker on the soft tyres today.
Yeah, didn't find any grip on this medium, and now they're starting to get old as well. So they're pretty much on the same level with the arts that Sicario has on. So this is very much a battle, even if Sicario has 6 seconds worth of penalty. Still 12 laps to go, so anything can happen. Also, Dirtshark is closing in on Trackster, oddly enough. Yellow flag in sector 1 is all Crane or Sariba. Is all Crane. He's taking a very slow line back onto the racetrack. So yeah, let's jump on board with Simapez, who is now lapping Barks on the main straight.
I wasn't sure quite what Barks was doing then. I think he was trying to get out of Simapez's way, but Simapez didn't really commit to one side of the track or the other, so he had to change his mind, Barks, but did the right thing for the blue flags.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward moment. Like his mode in the chat, because I lost my freaking front wing from that. Yeah, it was a really difficult start to interpret from Lofty. I have no idea what happened to him. Maybe he touched with someone else, maybe with Pat.
The purple first sector for Simapez. I think he's going for it again.
Yeah, he used the DRS from Barks, and he's trying to improve on his previous fastest lap, as there is a yellow flag.
Yeah, and I think trying to get DRS on Warren as well during this lap. It's going to be a difficult ask, but he could get it. He's got very little ERS left to spend though, so I'm not sure whether he'll do it. We'll see his Sector 2 update very soon.
Yes, he does need to preserve the energy, doesn't he? Yeah, it's in line with his previous lap, but remember, he didn't use any ERS in the Sector 3.
Yeah, trying to get that DRS. I think he will get DRS towards the end, but it's just barely worth it on the last few meters, and it's a 1.5 tenths slower
time this time round for Simapez.
Yeah.
And now he's going to have to charge that battery like crazy.
Yeah, not the best chicane. I mean, it was good, but it was not perfect. It broke a little bit too much light.
So we've got Sicario within DRS range of Manic now.
Sicario 6, that's behind Manic. Even if Manic didn't have really impressive pace on this mediums, he's still in P4. So
yep.
It will be a very good result from us since they're fighting with Williams.
But the hard tyres really have worked well here today, and you can't often say that on the circuits of F1 2022. The high degradation has definitely brought the hard tyre into play today, and Sicario and Dirt Shark really making use of it well.
We're gonna see how they're gonna develop this arts tyre in the next game. F1 2022. It's gonna be.
I think it will become more of a factor because all the tyres took one step to the soft side, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they minimised the gaps between C-numbered tyres, I think. No, the gaps were bigger, but I think more often the hard tyre will be a working range. Oh, wow. Sicario tried to go down the inside. Manic goes wrong again on the outside, and turn one almost claimed another one. Definitely, though, Leox, stale points for Manic on that one.
Yeah, big points for Manic in the bag. With style points, yeah. And he managed to stay on track because he had contact with Sicario, otherwise he would have spun out easily.
Yeah, almost Sicario collecting him, and both were lucky it was wheel on wheel.
Yeah,
almost corrected Manic's little drift.
And Erkis Monte getting excited about this overtake maneuver. You should have watched the first time laps then.
Yeah. I think Hercus was a little busy in those first few laps, but there's Simapez lapping Manic in 5th place now. Simo started at the back of the grid, took 13 laps to get to the front, and has lapped all but the top 4 by lap 44.
All but the top 3 now, because Simapez is lapping now. Sicario and Manix try to get cheeky with that, and he's now going down the inside over Sicario and getting the place back. Really.
Did you just say get jiggy with that?
Jiggy? No? Why?
I thought you said Manix now trying to get jiggy with that. Is that not what you said?
No. What does it mean, jiggy? I've no idea.
It's an old sort of 90s term that Will Smith turned into a song when he was still Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was getting jiggy with it. So I was pretty surprised that you were using that.
I'm gonna use that from now on. Are you happy?
I'm gonna have to post that in the chat now. That song.
Because Montemanic should have done that once was behind him. Joking, unless.
Barks passes Warren, who has spun. Warren off in the S's. Doing a good safe rejoin there behind Ruthless Peas, who gets by, but Warren, a mistake in the S's seemingly, and was stuck in the gravel momentarily.
Yeah, race to forget for Warren.
Oh yeah, certainly this middle stint of the race has been for him. The start was good, wasn't it, as you say?
Yeah, very painful end of the race for him.
So just looking at Cerribo, who has been lapped by the car in front of him in 10th. I don't like calling attention to this, but it's just somewhat interesting sometimes to look at. If I look at gap to leader, that's 3 laps he's had put on him here in 45 laps.
Wow.
El Crin picks up another penalty.
And he started last.
Yeah. Simapez's fastest lap, Leox, is... I think 2 seconds. 2 seconds faster than anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just on another league.
Mm-hmm.
Another league. We should ask him to at least make 4 pit stops.
Warren pits from P8, and he is vulnerable to Warren pits and retires from the race.
Yeah, it's just had enough. Doesn't care about 3 points, and now Sir Ibo.
Yep.
We'll get a point.
Oh, well, he's spinning into the points as he's just had a mistake on the way through Spoon. Sorry, 130R. Well, that's unusual, but I guess the car starting to lose adhesion on the outside, spinning 180 degrees on his own, but he should be able to get into the points.
He first has to get to Warren without destroying his car in the barriers.
Absolutely. Dirt Shark now is 1.4 seconds behind Trugster on the hard tyres, but with those penalties, which is where we need to focus to the end of this race. So Dirt Shark could get the second place on the road at least. Round the outside goes Siribo. He's almost cleaning up the outside of the track into turn 1 there, making, I think it looks like a Joker lap route to Siribo sometimes from Rallycross, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Trackster, 3 second time penalty. That's interesting. Because Dirt Shark S9, so it's not on, but still 6 laps to go. If Trackster does a mistake, then it's gonna pay hard. Because Dirt Shark is just behind him. Really impressive race from Dirt Shark. I think my driver of the day has to be Simo Pez.
No.
No?
No.
And then it's Dirt Shark.
Absolutely. For me, yeah, absolutely. Well, I never give driver of the day to the winner anyway. But yeah, Simo Pez.
He started last. He was first after 20 laps, and his fastest lap is 20. It's 2 seconds faster than anyone else.
I know. But that's glory enough for me. That's all the glory he needs. For me, Dirt Shark has done a lot of the similar kind of stuff to climb up the field. He's run the race through on hard tyres, and as long as he gets this to the end, he's done it on far more similar pace to the rest of the field.
Yeah. Nicholas point in the chat. I am the driver of the day.
Well, how many? Let's ask the viewers. How many people agree with that?
Yeah, we have 12 spectators. Please, anyone says what they think. Who's your driver of the day?
Then it's not us arguing. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just a chat.
Yeah, always blame the audience if you can.
Yeah. What's your biggest audience you've ever had on a stream?
Oh, it's probably not fair to comment on that. But when I was doing some PSGL work, that was probably the biggest.
Yep.
It was kind of crazy. I just couldn't keep up. Mind you, 2/3 of the comments were "Where's Jarno?" So people just tune in to try and find Jarno up here, and just get disappointed and go away again.
Cool. We're gonna have that for Simo Pez.
But hey, let's hope that that the racing that you were mentioning in the last stream does go ahead, and I'm sure we can rival numbers like that.
Yep. Marcus Monte, where's Jarno? Yeah, all over back.
Thank you, Hercus. What made it funniest is we had a Dutch driver called Jarmo in the race as well. So I would always say he's in P3 or he's in P4, and just wind people up.
Nicholas as well.
Excellent, thanks, Nicholas. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you where is Stanitsa then. Godzilla.
Yeah.
I think there is an eSports driver in our Discord chat, and I think he's
one of the earliest, most famous as well, I think.
Yeah, now it's in Ferrari with Tonizza. I don't remember the name.
Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee. Yep. 2 times world champion.
I believe that's true. Yeah. Big ascendancy that he's had, and an incredible journey. And he's now, absolutely knocking on the door of a real seat, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, his commitment since winning the World Championship. I mean, you don't even talk about winning the World Championship, but the commitment shown since then, tremendous.
Really, really good.
And the fact that he was out of the limelight for so long and then came back, just very inspirational.
Yep. So for these drivers running, watching them fighting at the finest level, I think it's very inspirational.
Definitely.
Almost a dream to see. Yep.
Go ahead. No, just to say we've got 4 laps to go, and Simapez looks like he's about to lap another car. Is he? I think just put another lap on a car he's already lapped. I think he's going to stop at P4 today for his lapping aims, but Ruthless Peach starting to close on Barks and Dirt Shark closing on Trugster, although with the penalty difference that's going to be difficult to
between Barks and Ruthless Peach is going to be game on in the last 2 laps because they got lap, so maybe 3 laps, so it's going to be very interesting. Barks doesn't have energy. Ruthless Peach has 40% of ERS, so he also has 15 laps older medium.
Yeah, it does look like Ruthless Peach. He's got a lot more pace, but we know Barks can defend.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting, this final battle for P6 for 5 points in the championship.
Yeah, we've had a very entertaining race. It's been a lot of drama. I just wish they'd spread the drama out a little bit for us.
Yeah, not everything in the first 10 laps. Oh, Ruthless Peach, we jinxed that.
Yeah.
He lost the car.
Shocking
and he got
stuff.
Also 3-second time penalty. Very, very sad.
And look how dirty that Alpha Tauri is as well. It's really got very dirty indeed. But another exit. I think that has been the biggest trap of the race so far. Has been the exit of Spoon 2 for our drivers. I'm sure that's claimed 3 or 4 incidents now. Drivers losing the car on traction. So 34 laps on the medium is right on the edge of their lifespan, I think. So hardly a surprise there for Ruthless Peach to lose the car. To hold on to it for as long as he has, very good. I wonder if he was distracted at all by the Williams on its Joker lap route.
Yeah, Saribo driving on the outer version of Japan.
Rallycross Suzuka, I think. But obviously choosing good places to let cars go, but it doesn't stop it being a little bit of a distraction. Of course, that's not. I wouldn't blame the Williams driver for that. Only it's just a possible cause.
Yeah, and Simapes is going for a fastest lap.
Okay, let's join him then. Now the car is
3 tenths down. It's 3 tenths up.
Low on fuel.
For a 129. Let's see if he can get that. Use all his energy. Still,
batteries unable to deploy anymore again.
Let's see, 29. Oh, just about 29.998. Wow,
tremendous. So I wonder if he'll leave it now till the final lap, make this one a charge lap, and try and go again. He just needs to pace that ERS deployment a little bit better because he keeps running out into the final chicane, Leox.
Yeah. Maybe that's used a little bit too much in the second sector, probably. But that's also what gave him 3 tenths. And he's using the
hopefully
now.
He'll listen to this and find out how to really drive from us too.
Yeah. Are we good in the game? Or
no, I'm awful. I commentate on like 6 races a week. I have zero time to play it myself, so
fair enough.
No, I just I stick to what I'm better at. I wouldn't even say good at, but better at is doing this job.
F1 2019 was my game. Yeah.
Nice.
I was there with Simapaz, I remember. Then F1 2020 crushed me. I just gave up.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Do you play it much though? Do you play it much offline or?
No.
Really?
Not anymore. Yeah.
Wow. So have you made a decision which version to buy next game round?
PS4 version? What do you mean?
Like, will it be the champion or the regular version?
No. Regular version.
Regular.
I don't need the championship one.
I'm hoping it doesn't restrict me from commentating if I buy the lower one on other leagues.
Because the difference is, I'm not really.
I think. Well, I'm only speculating, but I think champion game owners. Sorry. Oh, we've got a mistake there for one of the Alpha Tauris. It's ruthless. It's Zabi.
Crane lost the car.
Zabi loses it in the hairpin. El Crin loses it in the Dunlop corner. I believe it is the final one of the S's. So
and got lapped by Manic and Sicario, but everything seems fine now. Yeah.
Wow, and I'm sure that coming up towards the he certainly started his final lap is Simapez, and I don't think he's got the pace to push this for another fastest lap attempt.
No, surely not. But he's already waving a little bit. There's a double yellow. And is Zabishaka just waiting Simapez to do another lap? Let's see, Simapez going through the last corner, lap 53. Here in Suzuka, and Simapez does a little bit of a burnout and finish the race in P1. That's the 4th or 5th win in a row from the Mercedes driver. 11 points. Also this race. Trackster and Dershark will finish very, very close on track. Dershark has managed to catch the Alpine, but he does have 6 seconds more of penalties, so there's a fight going on between these two.
Yeah.
Still a very good race.
I think Dershark would love to have got him. I think the big battle though is Barks on the back of Sicario.
They already crossed
They've
the line.
already crossed the line behind, so he failed to get that 5th place by less than a quarter of a second. Barks, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that's hurtful, surely.
But hopefully he'll be happy with the performance nonetheless. Very, very good stuff. I think we've got one of the Williams drivers slowing once again. I think Saribo doesn't fancy completing another lap.
Yeah. Saribo got a point.
Zabi wants us to remind everybody that he had a default setup, forgot to put that on and got the car to the end. Unfortunately, a little spin at the end of the race. But great performance from Trugster out there.
Yeah, I think Dershark is my driver of the day. Also, Trackster did a good job, but driving these old parts around Suzuka and taking a podium, it's very, very good enough for driver of the day. So that's the end of our 7th round here at the UKSS.com Battle Racing League Season 3. Simapez wins the race, Trackster and Dershark complete the podium, Manic, Sicario, Barks, Ruthless Peach, Sabishaka, Alcrane and Sir Ebo gets the points. Then we have 10 retired driver, Warren, Tibran, Moti Paris, Nicolas Boita and Ercus Monte, crucially for the championship. Scaparo, Play Racing, Pat and Lofty started on P2 and didn't manage to complete one single corner. So thank you so much, Weber, for joining me today.
No problem.
I'll see you next week, as always, at 6 p.m. UK.
Mexico next week.